There is a general feeling that this society is moving along and is developing rather fast. And many people feel that Turkey has now achieved a position which many Turks did not imagine were possible, let us say, 2 or 3 decades earlier. I think many of the sort of more urban and, say, modern Turks would like to see Turkey to become further integrated into the European Union, whereas maybe the current government would assume a more prominent role for Turkey in the developing world, with particular emphasis on the Islamic Middle East. So people have different ideas and different dreams, but there is a shared feeling that Turkey is moving ahead, that it should move ahead and achieve a prominent position in the world. The sort of electoral achievements of the AKP during the past 10 years has been a function of several things. Number one has to recognize that they have significantly improved public services, particularly in a society that is rapidly urbanizing. Secondly, they have incorporated essentially the social groups that are marginal to politics into the heart of politics. And Turkey also has enjoyed reasonably uninterrupted economic growth during these 10 years. And one also has to recognize that the party has had a very, very charismatic political leader that electrifies the average voter. Well, there are a variety of reasons as to why the Turkish foreign policy, which initially tended to evolve into a highly assertive way, in fact, an almost third worldist way, is coming back, if you will, into the fold. And there are reasons for that. Number one, Turkey has discovered that it is not necessarily capable by itself to bring about much change in the region. Number two, this exposes Turkey to a probability of weakening its relations with its traditional allies without anything to substitute for it. And of course, Turkey's economy in particular and Turkey's security continues to be tightly integrated to that of the Atlantic community. And I think Mr. Erdogan wants to be identified, I think, as an Islamic leader that leads the Middle East. And he actually thought, when the Arab Spring broke out, that he had this chance, but the Arab Spring has turned sour, and as a result, Turkey now appears to have made a number of blundering choices with regard to Egypt, with regard to Syria, etc. With regard to Turkey's policies towards Syria, there was a misjudgment on the part of the Prime Minister and his advisors that Assad would be toppled very quickly. And they also misjudged the ability of Assad to use whatever means necessary, however cruel they may be, to stay in power. And they misjudged the role of Iran and Russia in extending protection to Syria. And that altogether has necessitated a reconsideration of the way Turkey should conduct its foreign policy. Fethullah Gülen is a follower of an earlier Sufi leader. This Sufi leader was named Said el-Nursi. The most apparent part of a new divide in the Islamic politics of Turkey is this division between the so-called Gülenists and the Prime Minister's side. From very early on, actually, there were some differences between the Gülenists and the government. It seems that they saw eye to eye on parts of domestic politics, particularly in reducing the power of the military in determining political outcomes. But once that was achieved, then basically it became a political struggle as to whose team would have more power in the administration, in the bureaucracy, in the judicial system, and therefore a fight has broken out. There are many fights going on all the time. I think they will multiply. First of all, there are various types of oppositions in Turkey, and Gezi revolt was sort of an interesting opposition that did not represent a currently existing political party or something like that. It was more a spontaneous movement that originated in society. I am not sure that it was economically motivated, because those who participated in this were mainly middle-class people. Many of them had never actually participated in political activity before. So it is a reaction to essentially the government's heavy-handed manner in trying to regulate all aspects of life. Turkey is becoming an increasingly urban society. Turkey, however, has an administrative system that is heavily centralized and does not provide opportunities for residents of a particular locale to have much say about what happens in their environment. So it was a protest movement in that regard, and it was finally a protest movement against this sort of unlimited greed for collecting rents that rapid urbanization has produced. The Turkish experience, though it may not be easy to replicate because we're talking about a centuries-long process of transformation, but the fact that Turkey has become a democracy of sorts, the fact that Turkey is a modern society, that it is a highly industrialized society, shows the way that other societies in the region, if they pursue specific policies, may become like that, and there is nothing inherent in them that stands in the way of their becoming modern societies, because they have the example of Turkey in front of them.